Frag Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another episode of Frag Radio. And here with you today are your boys, Paradius.
And Jay to the Ray for the first time in quite a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute. So just fresh off the Xbox E3 press conference, before we start going into the nitty-gritty details of it, overall, what do you think about how it went down overall?
I thought it was their best show in a while. I mean, better than last year's by a long mile. Better than the year before's by a long mile. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good.
Yeah. They definitely did a really good job. I would say A plus. It was pretty amazing. And they had a hard act to follow because Bethesda did a really good press conference last night as well.
Bethesda's was amazing.
Yeah.
That Doom 4 footage was just insane.
It was killer.
Oh, man. And then Fable 4. Oh. Fallout 4, not Fable.
All right. So, first up, they did Halo 5. Of course, they didn't show Master Chief gameplay. It was the Spartan Locke gameplay, where you were with Spartan Locke and his team. They showed off how some of the team gameplay is going to work, giving commands to your guys, having them revive what teammates and things like that. Where it looks like this Halo, at least the campaign portion of it, to be more of like a squad shooter than the traditional.
Yeah, and it makes more sense to do it that way because that makes co-op make more sense in the game. Co-op for Halo was always a little bit weird, as everybody was kind of a Master Chief, other than Reach, of course. Where Reach, you had your whole squad, and everybody was a certain member of the squad. But I always thought the co-op didn't quite make sense on a story level for all the other Halos. Now it can.
Right.
So
they also showed off the new multiplayer mode, which is like player versus AI, which is called Warzone.
Yeah, PvPvE.
And that was pretty amazing. I think out of the whole Halo 5 reveal they did today, I think that was the highlight of it. That Warzone mode looked pretty amazing.
It almost reminded me of Titanfall with how there was a story with it, kind of like the campaign of Titanfall. And there was also, like you said, AI that was running around that you could kill too. The difference is in Titanfall, the AI members were a member of each team. The AI seems like they were
against both teams.
Yeah, they were exactly. So,
and then also, at Titanfall was 16 players, 8v8, and this was 24 players.
Right.
So it's gonna be pretty big, epic battle.
And they did say maps 4 times the size of any Halo maps they've ever done.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy.
With vehicles, all that. So yeah, it's gonna be big.
And then after that, they showed off a brand new IP from Kiji.
Creator of Metroid Prime.
Right, and
Mega Man.
Dead Rising.
Yeah.
So the game's called ReCore, and it's about this girl. Not sure, we don't know her name. She's got this like globe ball glowing
like a
thing.
core,
Yeah,
like a core,
it's a core,
energy
and
core.
Pretty much any piece of machinery she inserts it into brings it to life.
And it's almost like the core itself was alive. It was almost like her pet.
Yeah, because at first the core was inside this little robot dog thing, and then it went in and sacrificed itself to save her. But the core still remained, even though the dog itself,
and it was like the same personality because when she put it in that other thing, she said, "Welcome back, boy."
Yeah.
And then he kind of followed her along again. So.
Yeah, and then that second thing was like a giant robot that she put it into.
Yeah.
And this is a first-party IP.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft is working on this internally, and I guess Kiji is there with them working on it. But this is going to be an IP owned by Microsoft, and presumably one IP that they'll want to build up for future titles as well.
Yep.
But that was definitely a surprise. Wasn't expecting that. But after that came the big surprise of the show.
The best news. Nobody saw this coming. At least I didn't.
Backwards compatibility.
Yeah, they just dropped that bomb on us, and they're like, oh, by the way, the game's showing on 360. It'll start showing up in your Xbox One library soon. Yeah. Today, actually.
So yeah, if you're a preview member, the Xbox 360 games, the ones that they have, it's going to a select number.
The ones that they have agreed, yeah.
Yeah, should be showing up in your games library today, as you're watching this, you could probably go on there now if you haven't already. Now, keep in mind you have to be part of the Xbox preview program for that. If you're not part of the preview program, it'll be holiday later on this year but everybody will be able to experience it eventually.
Disc-based games too.
Yes.
Now it'll just trigger a download, but which is fine. But that's a big bomb to drop because essentially that means you can get rid of your 360 now.
Right.
There's no reason to hold on to a 360, and if you only own a 360 and you don't own an Xbox One, and you're like, well, I don't want to get an Xbox One because I already have a ton of games on 360, and I don't want to spend a whole bunch of money getting all these games on Xbox One. You can still upgrade, get the games you want, and still have your entire library just about. So it's big.
Yeah. They did say that there was still one or two publishers that were being kind of stubborn out there that don't want their games backwards compatible with the new console. Of course, that's their right, completely up to them. And we have some guesses as to what publishers those might be. Not that we're going to speculate here. But either way, that was an amazing announcement, and I think is a game changer for Xbox because PlayStation, their whole thing is with the PlayStation Now, where you have to pay a monthly fee to play the old games or rent them one by one.
Right.
Whereas with this one, if you own it already on 360, you got it now. There's no extra fees involved for the gamer.
Yeah, it pretty much is a ploy aimed right at PlayStation Now. The only difference is with PlayStation Now, you're streaming the games without downloading them, directly, whereas Xbox you have to download them. But in a day where you can upgrade your hard drive so easily, that's not really an issue.
I wonder if Sony's going to have some kind of response to this. Obviously not at this E3 because this probably took them by surprise just as much as it did us. But you imagine, looking at the two, this backwards compatibility versus PlayStation Now, obviously backwards compatibility is way better than paying monthly fees or renting old games one by one that you might have already owned on PS3.
By the way, I hate to cut you off. Crytek announced a new game for virtual reality for VR headsets.
Yeah.
Robinson, The Journey.
Robinson? Is that like Swiss Family Robinson? Yo.
I don't know. But yeah, the Michonne miniseries. That sounds pretty cool. I hate to change the subject, but I just was thinking.
But yeah, so that backwards compatibility, that was definitely a holy shit moment.
Yeah.
For the Xbox E3 press conference.
Yes, that's a big.
I think both of us jaws dropped, stood up out of our seats, and was like, "What the fuck? Did they really just say that?"
Yeah.
The next big thing after that, which was a controller showed up on screen, and we're like, "Oh, the new controller with the 3.5
That's what I thought
jack.
it was at first.
Big deal." But then it turned out it's an actual pro controller. Like people buy these snuff controllers.
I had a controller like that for Xbox 360, and I used it to play Call of Duty, where you could reload with. They had two buttons you could map to anything on the back.
Yeah.
And you did that so you never had to take your finger off the trigger
and the
stick. The stick, yeah. And I loved it. Loved it. But it didn't last very long. It was like a Mad Catz, a third-party controller. Yeah. But this is a first-party, fully moddable.
Fully moddable.
You can take the sticks out, move the sticks where you want. You can change the A and B buttons.
It even has the trigger locks on it, so you can fire on a hair trigger.
Yeah.
Which was pretty awesome as well. Now, for those who don't know, this is essentially the A, B, X, Y buttons. You'll be able to press those buttons from the back of the controller with these fingers rather than having move. So you can keep your thumbs on the sticks rather than moving them over to the buttons.
Yeah, and you'll be able to reload really quick and while you're shooting, shoot, reload with your pinky finger or middle finger. It's crazy.
I never thought I would see a first party company like Microsoft or Sony make one of those controllers.
How about the D-pad type deal?
Yeah, you can change out the D-pad on it,
which had like almost a sphere disco ball look to it.
Yeah, or you can take it out and switch it out for the actual normal D-pad.
Right, or it was actually like a more advanced looking D-pad than what we've seen. But I'm talking about the sphere one that you said. It almost segmented the D-pad into every little angle you could possibly have.
Yeah,
and they showed somebody playing Killer Instinct with it, and
almost reminded me of the Steam controller a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
But yeah, so that was another pretty big surprise. And when that controller first came on screen, I was like, do they really got to show us this 3.5mm jack controller
what I thought.
that we heard about last week? Really, they're going to waste time on this? And then it turned out to be something totally different and actually kind of blew me away a little bit.
I was going to run out today and get a 3.5mm controller.
Now we're going to wait.
Now I'm going to wait.
Now we're going to wait. So after that, Todd Howard took the stage. Fallout 4, another huge announcement. I mean, as we're going through, it didn't even seem, maybe not like it at the time, but it was just huge announcement after huge announcement. Fallout 4, if you buy it on Xbox One, is going to come with Fallout 3 for free. And that's only on Xbox One. Any other console, you're just going to get Fallout 4. But beyond that...
Yeah, this was the draw dropper.
The jaw dropper.
The whole mod library on PC for Fallout 3 and 4 is going to be available on Xbox One. I mean, I've never even heard of that before.
I think that's thanks to the Windows 10 update that's coming to Xbox One, and the fact that Fallout 4 is going to be running the same on PC and Xbox now. So any mod that comes out for Fallout 4 on PC, you'll be able to load it onto your Xbox One, and you'll be able to mod Fallout 4 on your Xbox One and play it how you want to play.
And for those of you unfamiliar, the mod community has essentially used the Fallout engine and made completely new Fallout games.
Yeah.
Similar to Half-Life has always had the biggest mod following, really, where they actually make whole games. But Fallout has a very close mod community.
Yeah, they're right up there with Grand Theft Auto, who also has a pretty big mod
they
community.
do. And, I mean, you're going to be able to play essentially user-created games. It's big.
4.
Think about the Skyrim mods we saw.
Yeah. I mean, you could possibly be flying the Millennium Falcon in Fallout 4 on your Xbox One. I mean, really.
Putting new texture packs in it and making it look different. I mean, all kinds of
It's going to be insane.
It really is.
And when you look at it, this is really just the beginning. Imagine what other games
this could
happen with.
This is the tip of the iceberg right here.
Tip of the iceberg.
It really is. It's
Fallout 4.
We're already seeing
the first.
The snap map for Doom.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like a lot of these games are going user-generated content to the next level on consoles.
Which is great.
Yeah, because that's what keeps the longevity in a lot of PC games.
I think Windows 10 is going to be a game changer for Xbox and vice versa.
Speaking of which, they did say, Phil Spencer said at the end of the show that they were going to show the new UI this week.
Brand new dashboard for the Xbox coming. I'm thinking this is going to be a dramatic change, similar to how the NXE was for the 360.
That's exactly, yep.
When it replaced the blades.
The blades was cool and all, but it was dull,
Yeah.
and it was clearly dated.
It wasn't alive. It didn't feel alive.
No, and when they went the next route, it's
NXE brought the 360 to life.
And what was the third one that they went to? Gosh, I can't remember the daggone name of it.
That was the more Windows looking one with the tiles.
Yeah. That's right. I can't remember what they called that one.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's neither here nor there. A lot of people that I play games play online with complain so much about the Snap system.
Right.
The user interface for Xbox One, let's be honest, is just behind PlayStation's as far as user friendly and snappiness. I mean,
unless you have a Kinect, then it's perfectly user friendly.
Well, I guess user-friendly wasn't the word. I just mean responsiveness. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I get a message. I'm in the middle of a game, and I got a short break, and Xbox Snap messages, and it comes up, and it just loads, and it just loads, and it just loads. And then my game starts, and I got to exit out, and I can't check my messages that time.
Right.
I've gotten to where I use Smart Glass for everything I need to do because I just don't even want to fool with Snap and shit.
Yeah. Well, I imagine this is going to be the Windows 10 update that they're going to be unveiling.
Probably so, yeah. It has to be.
And Windows 10 is designed to run on 2 gig of RAM tablet devices. So Xbox One with 8 gig of RAM.
You would hope, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be lightning fast, I'm thinking.
Well, I hope so, and I expect nothing less. I mean, I know that they'll get it together.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, Xbox One is already very fast compared to 360. If you actually own an Xbox One and haven't played your 360 in a while, just go ahead and boot that 360
up.
up.
God, it's, yeah. Oh.
You'll be like, wow, I don't even remember it being this slow. How did I deal with waiting 5.5 minutes for Hulu Plus to load up?
I know. Well, it's funny because
crazy.
In Destiny, and this is just a game example, not the UI example, but in Destiny, when you cheese Skolas with the heavy ammo synthesis, you can't do that on 360 because it takes too long for the inventory screen to come up. But anyway, I'm looking forward to maybe this new UI, seeing this new UI more than maybe anything else at E3.
Oh, another thing I want to mention before we move on, we did not see Call of Duty at Xbox press conference, which
Thank
the Sony
the
conference hasn't started
Thank
yet.
the Lord.
But it does feed to the
Thank the
rumors
Lord.
that Black Ops 3 is going to be shown at Sony's press conference.
Fine.
That Sony possibly bought the marketing rights for Black Ops 3.
That's fine. I don't care who shows Call of Duty. I'll see it. I'll be happy about it. And that's it.
And move on.
Yeah. Whoever doesn't show Call of Duty has more time to show something else. So
Yeah.
they should be paying to not market it.
Yeah, the only two really multi-plat games they showed was Garden Warfare 2 and Dark Souls 3.
Dark Souls 3, yeah.
Which
Fallout
both
4.
were good. Well, yeah, Fallout 4. But Fallout 4 with that exclusive mod stuff almost feels like an Xbox exclusive to me now. But yeah, it was crazy. So, speaking of Garden Warfare 2, that was next up. They showed off
CGI.
Garden Warfare 2,
little
CGI trailer. Looks cool. Looks like Garden Warfare. They also announced that Titanfall and Dragon Age Inquisition are coming to EA Access.
Which everybody has free for this week, by the way.
Yeah, EA Access free to all Xbox members. Did they say if you have to be a gold member or not?
Oh, I would
don't
imagine.
think they did.
I would imagine you would have to, though.
Yeah.
They
possibly.
did. I don't think they did
didn't
say,
specify.
but I would say that that's a given. I mean, you have to be a gold member to do just about anything.
They also, I think we're gonna have some exclusive Madden content or something. They showed. After that was Forza 6.
Forza 6.
Which looked amazing to be expected.
And it's funny because we were talking before the show, and if there was one safe bet for their whole conference is that there was going to be a brand new car on stage
Yep.
for the Forza presentation, and I'll be damned if they didn't drop a new car.
And for the gameplay preview, they were going to span the camera
4GT.
around the car and show you how the doors open up.
Show you how
Span
great
over
the
the
cars
engine.
look. Yeah, you just knew it.
And they did it. But thankfully, they didn't spend a lot of time on that.
No, because let's be honest, everybody knows how amazing Forza is. Everybody knows how amazing it looks, and everybody knows Forza 6 is gonna be
Yeah,
more
amazing.
of that.
Yeah.
We don't need a giant 20-minute presentation on it.
To tell us what we already know.
Yeah, and they moved quickly on from that, and that's fine. But the little bit they did show with the dynamic weather effects and the rain and the windshield
Oh,
wiper,
those raindrops on the windshield looked so real.
yeah, they did. They did.
That was amazing.
The little bit they did show looked amazing.
It
But
did.
Moving on from that, we don't need to spend a lot.
Next up was Dark Souls 3.
Which was a very, very short CGI trailer. There was nothing really to that. It was more of an announcement.
Yeah. Next year,
Yeah.
spring 2016, I think they said.
They did.
Which, if you're a Dark Souls fan, that's great news.
Yeah.
And it'll be on Xbox because I know a lot of Xbox fans probably felt kind of bummed that Bloodborne, was an exclusive. So hearing that Dark Souls 3 will be on Xbox is probably a good thing. And that they showed it at the Xbox press conference speaks kind of volumes that I think From Software isn't really aligned with either one console. They'll work with whoever.
Yeah, I think Bloodborne was more of a IOU to Sony for moving on from Demon Souls to Dark Souls.
Yeah, and making their own.
Yeah,
thing.
it was almost like, hey, sorry we had to make this a universally,
franchise. Yeah.
a multi-platform.
Sorry, we had to make that money.
But we'll give you one last game in Bloodborne. But Bloodborne, a lot of people love it, so.
Best exclusive PS4 has had this year so far.
Yeah, that is. Because the order was just great, but so damn short that can you even consider that a...
And reviews for it weren't very good either.
I mean, it looked great. I don't really know how the game played because I didn't play it, so.
Right. And then after that was The Division, which I can't wait to play this game. That next to the new Gears 4, this is the game that I'm looking forward to playing. This is going to be my new Destiny, my new Warframe.
I think so, too. I think that's...
When this comes out, we talk about, I've quit Destiny, but you talk about stopping. Kev talks about stopping. We know a lot of people that talk.
But the real question
they
is,
talk about
will you stop
stopping
playing
Destiny.
Warframe?
I think The Division will actually allow a lot of people to really, for real, stop playing Destiny.
But stopping playing Destiny means nothing when you move on to another game that's almost identical.
Well, that's what happened to me with Warframe.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Will you stop playing Warframe for it?
Probably.
You can say you stop playing Destiny for it because you've already stopped playing Destiny, but will you stop playing Warframe for
I think
it?
so.
You think so?
I think so. I think by then I will have had my fill. But now, not all together, because we do constant coverage on Warframe now and have been accepted as official Warframe podcast.
I was going to say.
And there's different, events. It's actually a little bit different than Destiny because, Destiny does, these Iron Banner events, but that's all PvP. They don't really do a lot of PvE. Since Queen's Wrath, there hasn't really been a PvE event like that. Whereas Warframe does them, once a month. There's a PvE event, and it's brand new content, and it's only available for that week, and then it's gone. which I think is pretty cool. But yeah, so the Division is going to be crazy. I'll be moving back and forth between the Division and Warframe. But you know, and the beta for the Division is going to be exclusive on Xbox One
Coming this holiday.
which that was a pretty cool announcement as well. Looking forward to playing that beta.
Yeah.
They didn't announce anything about a Gears of War 4 beta coming with the Gears of War Ultimate Edition, which I thought was kind of weird. A lot of people were expecting that they would announce buy the Gears of War Ultimate Edition and get automatic entry into the Gears of War 4 beta.
That might be an announcement for later.
Yeah. Maybe Gamescom. Yeah. So after that was more Ubisoft. Rainbow Six Siege, which if you buy Rainbow Six Siege on Xbox, you also get Rainbow Six Vegas and Rainbow Six 2 for free with Rainbow Six Siege. Or if you already own Vegas and Vegas 2 for 360, those are going to be part of the backwards compatible games for Xbox One. So if you own Vegas and Vegas 1 and Vegas 2, you'll own them on Xbox One, be able to play them.
That's right.
And if you don't, you'll get them free with Siege on Xbox One.
And I don't think we mentioned that when they announced the backwards compatibility, they played the original Mass Effect on Xbox One. They also captured screenshots. They recorded or broadcast it to Twitch. They made game clips.
Right.
Every feature that's available to an Xbox One game currently will be available to the Xbox One or Xbox 360 games that are backwards compatible.
Right.
So you're getting the full Xbox One experience with these 360 games. I don't know if you ever played an original Xbox game on a 360, but they were very limited in what you could do with a lot of those games.
Especially after they took down Xbox Live support for the original Xbox.
Right. Yeah, and and there was very little you could do, but this is a big deal. You know, I mean.
Yeah, I think it's going to be different this time because Xbox Live over 360 and Xbox One are
unified.
Unified.
And that's true. And as long as that particular game hasn't shut down their servers like some really old games have,
right,
then you should essentially still be able to play online with your 360 friends.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Microsoft offers dedicated servers for any multiplayer game on Xbox One. I think a lot of these publishers, they just feel like they want to have more control over their game, and by using their own servers, they can do that. I know both EA and Activision prefer to use their own servers a lot of the time.
Well, those are big companies that can afford it.
They didn't do it with Titanfall. That was on Xbox Live dedicated servers, but that was an exception.
Yeah.
So after that was the indie showcase. We saw Tacoma, which was from the Gone Home developers.
Mm-hmm.
Looked good. Gigantic. That one looks really good, especially if you're a fan of MOBAs. I think you're going to be really interested in Gigantic.
We have an interview with their developer on
our YouTube channel from Killer Kev, Death from Above.
It's about Gigantic too, so check it out.
So that is going to have cross-play between Windows 10 and Xbox One, and also cross-saving. So anything you buy or gain on Xbox One, you'll have on PC and vice versa. Ashen, that was a really good looking game.
Yeah, that looked good. That game did look good.
Now that one's going to be Xbox exclusive. The other two were Beyond Eyes and Cuphead, which I know Cuphead is one you're looking forward to.
Yeah, that one looked. I was joking it until I actually saw it, and I was like, actually, this looks pretty sick. It looked like an old Mickey Mouse cartoon, old school Mickey Mouse cartoon, Popeye.
Yeah.
You know, like those type of cartoons. But it was a game, and it looked really fast paced, and it's two brothers that actually drew the whole game and animate it in the old cartoon style.
Right.
I mean, it looks sick. It looks really cool. By the way, if you can't tell, it's hot as absolute hell up here. So if we pass out at any time during this show,
you'll know what happened.
Yeah, you'll know why. I mean, it's 98 degrees here, and we're
next up was the Xbox
cooped up in the studio.
Xbox Game Preview Program, which is coming up. This is brand new, which will allow gamers like me and you to play games that are currently still in development on Xbox One. You'll be able to buy those games while they're still in development and play them while they're in development all the way up till launch, through launch, and beyond.
And this is going to do two things. This is going to allow us to be more familiar with the games that are coming out and know which ones that are going to be good, which are going to, in turn, give them more coverage.
Right.
Because not only are we going to be able to play them, but so is the media. So the media is going to know which ones to look forward to and give that more coverage in turn. Right. Two, another part of that, what they announced is that aside from the preview program, every game that's ID at Xbox that comes out will have a free trial.
We'll have a free trial.
Thank the Lord.
Also, Elite Dangerous and DayZ are going to be part of this preview program. You'll be able to play both of those games while they're still in development. And DayZ is going to be console exclusive to Xbox One, which I thought was huge because this is coming from a company that was just owned by Sony a few months ago.
And not only that, but DayZ is one of the biggest MMO games
On PC
on
right now.
PC. I mean, all you gotta do is go to Twitch and look at how many people are broadcasting DayZ.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I mean, it's no League of Legends when it comes to Twitch, but
Right.
it's pretty high.
I actually get kind of tired of seeing so many League of Legends.
Or Counter-Strike
streams all
Global
over.
Offensive.
And Dota 2.
Dota 2. Oh my god, yeah, those games they just fill your
They
Twitch.
dominate Twitch.
They do. But DayZ is up there, man. I mean,
Yeah, it is. So next up was Ion, which is like this space MMO
Space MMO. They said
looking game.
talked about human expansion and all that. I don't know.
Yeah, it was pretty vague, the details.
Very,
on it.
very short teaser trailer.
Yeah. So after that was Rise of the Tomb Raider. Looked amazing.
I don't think anybody really expected any less.
Yeah. So it was Laura and Jonas. They're both climbing up the side of this icy mountain. Laura loses her grip with the things, falls. He catches her, and then it showed some more like flashing of different gameplay. It just looked really great. And I think Rise of the Tomb Raider is going to be one of the Game of the Year contenders this holiday season when it comes out. After that, they announced the Rare Replay, which actually leaked right before the press conference. I actually had tweeted it out right before the press conference. This was a Rare Replay, a collection of 30 classic Rare games. Pretty much any Rare game you could think of is going to be part of this collection. Even ones from 360, like Perfect Dark Zero and Nuts and Bolts. And yeah.
And that was really the
Viva
precursor.
Pinata, yeah.
That was really the precursor to the big announcement.
The new Rare game. It's called Sea of Thieves, which looks like a almost MMO-ish pirate game where you and your buddies will be commanding your own pirate ship, and then you'll be on the ocean, and then there'll be another pirate ship of other real people who start attacking, and you'll be able to fight back.
Everybody
and
had a
these sea
gamer
battles.
tag over their head, so
Yeah.
that was. But they said this is far and away the most ambitious thing they've ever done. So
It looked amazing,
yeah,
and I think this is going to be a return to form for Rare, because Rare's been doing these Connect games for a while now, and people were starting to think that that's all they were going to do from here on out. So seeing Sea of Thieves on the screen, I think should put to rest those worries. They didn't really say when that's coming, but when it does come, it's going to be amazing. After that was Fable Legends, which is looking better than ever.
yeah,
We are both actually part of the beta right now, but we can't talk about it
that's right.
because of NDA. So
But they look good. It looked good. What they showed. I mean, they talked about really everything they've talked about before. I don't think they
Yeah.
really showed anything different.
they just showed more gameplay footage, which I think the graphics are looking a lot better now since the last time we saw them at E3 last year. And then was the whole HoloLens thing where they showed off playing Minecraft with the HoloLens, and that was amazing. The way that they had one person playing on their Surface tablet and one person playing with the HoloLens, and they had the damn dude's world on a table, and he was going through it. It's all in 3D. It looked crystal clear.
Yeah, it looked amazing. It
Looked-
really did.
And then you could move the world up and down and look underground and see what's underneath of you. And then you can also play like God and cast lightning bolts down. It was all sorts of crazy stuff. And that was really cool looking. They also talked more about the Oculus Rift announcement. And then came Gears of War. They showed the Gears of War Ultimate Edition, which is going to be Gears of War 1, completely remastered for Xbox One. Gears of War Ultimate Edition to come with all DLC that came out for it. And the beta for that is going on right now on your Xbox One. So it'll be going on all week long this week. Get on it, check it out. I'm going to be hopping on it directly after this show and probably playing all week long until it ends. Can't wait.
More and more people at E3 are loving to do the whole, oh, this is coming out, and by the way, you can do it right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you see that they did it. Fallout did it with Fallout Shelter.
Yeah.
Or Bethesda did it with Fallout Shelter. The Gears of War beta, the preview program, the backwards compatibility. I mean, there's a lot of that so far.
Yeah.
We've only had 2 conferences.
And then came the Gears of War 4, which when it first came up, I thought they were just showing like a shadowy cutscene from the first Gears, and then I heard the voice and I was like, what? I looked up and it's brand new characters. It wasn't Marcus Phoenix. Two brand new characters, a guy and a girl, and they're making their way through this dark courtyard, I guess, making their way to this castle-looking
with a lot of weather,
thing.
a lot of weather, wind.
Oh my God, that wind coming through and
the
the
trees
way it blew into the trees.
Yeah, it looked incredible.
It was incredible. I mean, I had to change my pants after the conference. It was amazing. My best part of the Xbox press conference, personally, just because I'm such a huge fan of Gears, it blew my mind. And I imagine they'll probably be doing multiplayer the next E3.
Probably. Yeah, because they said holiday
2016.
Yeah, so that's over a year away. So.
And then that was pretty much the bottom line. They killed it. It was a great press conference. Xbox's best press conference in a long time. And unless Sony does some amazing shit tonight, I think Xbox is going to take it as far as who wins E3 between the three console manufacturers. It's also possible that Bethesda's up there as well. Although between the two, just because there was more games shown and more material, I think Xbox took it over Bethesda as well. Because Bethesda was essentially 3 or 4 games.
But that you can't compare a console-owning company.
But people are going to.
But with hardware to a developer studio, a publishing studio that has, only.
Well, people are going
games.
to every year. Some people are like EA won E3. Ubisoft won E3.
I only talk about the main hardware competitors when I think of it. That's all.
Yeah.
And Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo.
And it's mainly just going to be Microsoft and Sony because when has Nintendo?
Because the reason why is because Bethesda, the stuff they're making is coming out for those consoles.
Unless Nintendo unveils the new console, the NX console at their show tomorrow, I don't see them taking E3 all the way.
I don't even really consider Nintendo in the running anymore, to be honest with you.
Well, they're not even doing it. They've been doing this live stream thing
I know.
for the last couple of years, which probably saves them a lot of money, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm interested to see what Sony has because I think in order for Sony to keep their
We're going to see Uncharted 4, that's a given.
Well, yeah, that's their big dog, but
and probably some from the God of War remaster.
That's well, I want to see something. I want to see them announce a new God of War, a full-fledged new God of War. Yeah. Want to see that.
Just the remaster ain't enough.
Oh no.
That's their big exclusive for this holiday season. The God of War remaster right now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They need to come out right now and start showing the first-party Sony games and why we haven't seen a whole lot of them.
Even if it's just short teaser trailers, Last of Us 2,
right.
God of War,
yeah,
whatever.
They need to start bringing the big guns because right now Microsoft's catching up. They're getting there. They're losing that little lead they gained at the beginning quick, and it's because of games. Yeah. Sony's known for games. Where the hell have they been?
What are all their studios doing?
Exactly. That's what nobody can figure out. They keep saying, "Well, we've got 37 studios working on first-party AAA games." Well, where the hell are they?
You could at least tell us the names of a couple of them.
Exactly, and that's the problem. If I'm beginning to think they're feeding us a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
But maybe tonight, I could be wrong. Maybe tonight they'll show 37 damn brand new games. But like you said, God of War, Last of Us 2, show teasers for stuff like that. That's a good start.
Yeah. Good start. Backwards compatibility, but they won't do that. Yeah. So, and then that's it for the there. And then also, like I said, Bethesda had a great conference last night. Doom 4 looked amazing. And then a little bit before we close out, I want to do a little bit of talk about Warframe. Update 16.5 just came to consoles this past Friday, which added a ton of new content. You've got new weapons, the bow and arrow Daiku, the Atomos, grenade launcher gun, the law of retribution, which is the new raid. I've played through it, I think 5 times now. It is a great raid, and takes skill and teamwork. Not just skill, teamwork. You can't go in there. You could have 8 of your best players, and they could still have problems if they don't know how to work together, which is great. And this is going up against Vahek. Going to be putting Vahek to rest. Finally been waiting a long time to put that guy out of his misery. Also, two operations, two events. Operation False Prophet, which just ended, which was up against Nathaniel, and from that, people who played through it got the Quanta Vandal, which is a great weapon. And then coming up next will be Operation Tubman of ReCore, where players will get a chance to support Nathaniel or forget who the other one was, but you'll be able to either get or go try to get either the Dara Vandal assault rifle or the Carrack Wraith assault rifle. I have both of them. Thanks to Digital Extremes for hooking me up to try them both out. I would say go for the Carrack Wraith. That is, I think, is the better out of the two weapons. Digital Extremes is doing a really good job of constantly updating the game, bringing fresh new content all the time, and it's all for free. They showed off the rework for Excalibur on the last dev stream. Excalibur's looking amazing. Can't wait for that new rework. The Shark Wing, where you'll be able to use the Arc Wing underwater, looked amazing. Also, the new Cat Bros, which is like a feline version of the Kubros, which are essentially like dogs now. You have like a feline cat version of those. So much great stuff on the horizon. And we will be, of course, talking about Warframe more and more on each episode as we continue doing our coverage. And now it's time to go back downstairs, watch some more E3 conferences, check out the Gears of War beta.
And cool the hell off.
It's been a good show, and we will catch y'all on the next episode of Frag Tag Radio.
Frag Tag Radio.